that time of the year when most of our front rooms and houses, etc., get transformed. We are talking Christmas interiors, and interior designer Faye Butterworth is with us with a few ideas on how to sparkle and spruce up Christmas. Afternoon, Faye.
Afternoon, Phil. How are you?
I'm lovely, thank you. And you know, this year, and I think it's just because we all need it, I have noticed everybody has pushed the boat out, haven't they, when it's come to Christmas decorations?
Well, it's gone absolutely crazy. I went to the shops yesterday and literally everywhere's getting sold out of Christmas decorations. So I think because everybody's going to be at home and with the COVID situation and that, everybody has gone bonkers. Even down our street, people have got more decorations out the front of the house, and it just seems like everyone's getting really in the Christmas spirit, which I'm really pleased about, actually, because I am a bit of a fan of Christmas.
Oh, me too. And you know, I was only saying last week on the programme, and I got loads of recommendations as to where to go. I couldn't find any lights for the front of the house. We thought, right, we'll push the boat out. We didn't want to be like the miserable pair, you know, in the corner with a dark house, you know, so we thought, right, we'll go out, buy some lights. Couldn't find any anywhere. And people were texting in and tweeting me and saying, look, go to this place. And I think by the time I'd arrived, that was it.
They'd gone.
Yeah, shelves were empty.
I had the same problem, so I ended up having to go online to one of the very big companies that a lot of us have been using, and I managed to find them on there. But you're right, they're literally everything is just gone. There's no trees around or anything anymore. So everyone, I think, is sort of really embracing Christmas this year. I suppose with the, you know, we're allowed a couple of bubbles or whatever over the Christmas period. I think people are just going to make the most of it, to be honest. So, yeah, but I would go online, I think, is the best option at the moment because the shops literally are barren.
Yes, entirely. Now, we have just got a new front door. We've gone red, by the way, Faye. It's quite nice.
Lovely.
Yeah,
is it a pillar box red or are we going for a deep red? Traditional?
No, it's more pillar boxy. It's a lighter red, yeah, but it's nice.
Lovely.
Really pleased
I hope you've got
it.
a nice big wreath on the door?
Well, that is what I was going to come to, because funnily enough, Rob, my other half, he said, I'd really like a wreath this year. But the thing is, there's so many different ways you can go with this, aren't there? Obviously, there's a few, dare I use the word, plastic wreaths. But then, if you want a really nice wreath, you're talking a few bob, aren't you?
Well, don't worry about it because, I mean, I've got a plastic, as you say, wreath on my front door, but over the years, the flowers and things like that discolour. So I've literally just bought some new bits and pieces and jazzed it up. I've had some old baubles I found. I've even got light up tinsel in it because I thought I can't be bothered with trying to put the electrics through and all of that. So battery powered, quickly on the back, job done. But you can make them really, really easily. I mean, if you're really stuck and you want something as a family thing to do or partners to do or whatever, go for a walk, go foraging, because actually all you need, I mean, if you still have these very old-fashioned, do you remember the wire coat hangers?
Oh, yeah. I'm thinking Blue Peter now, aren't you?
We are. I'm showing my age now. But you can make those into a couple of rings and literally get some twigs, some holly and things like that and just wrap them round and then pop some bits on and make your own.
I love it. And right. Okay. That's going to be tonight's activity.
Yes, a few cones out there, bit of sparkle on it, bit of glitter. You'll be away.
Yes, prepare for absolute carnage. It will look more like a terrible forest than it will a wreath. But anyway,
like a troll's glitter sparkle everywhere. Lovely.
Yeah, it's interesting as well, isn't it? How you've got those people, and I very much fit into this category, that just say, right, throw the baubles on the tree. Doesn't really matter if nothing coordinates. It'll all be fine. It's Christmas. Anything goes. And then you've got those people that really go to town. Everything beautifully colour coordinated. You know, you've got these beautiful, lush, huge baubles nowadays that cost like £15-20. But, you know, obviously it's a statement piece, isn't it, in the corner of your room. Which way do you tend to veer?
I've got a very bad habit, and it does cause a bit of a divorce in my house every year because I've just put Christmas tree number 6 up. You're probably cringing
really?
now.
No, do you know, we have got a small Scandinavian forest in our attic. We've got about 7 trees up there.
Brilliant. Bring them out because I love a Christmas tree. Every tree in my house, I have one in the lounge, one in the dining room, one in the conservatory. They're all themed and colour coordinated to the room. But I suppose because of what I do, I have to do it. And my tree is, I don't like minimalist. I think stuff a tree and put as much as you want on it. But I'm one of these, I don't do anything typical on top. Even I do have one traditional angel, but she's covered in the background with glitter gold, antlers and things like that. So I stuff the top of my tree because I love a big topper. So I've even got a reindeer head on one. with lovely flowers coming out. So it's like big sprays coming out. I've got birds on some of the others. I've got feathers on them. So I go a bit crazy, but I think you can do anything with a tree, and it's personal taste. But, you can even do an eclectic tree where nothing really matches, but it looks really good. And it's just have fun. And I think the more you put on a tree, unless you want to go absolutely minimalist, I think just looks nicer because it's Christmas.
Definitely.
It's about overindulging, isn't it? So, overindulge with your trees, definitely.
Right, he will hate me for telling you this, but my other half, Rob, he has got at the top of the Christmas tree, if you can imagine like a very large brooch, but in the shape of a Christmas decoration, with the Queen and Prince Philip on it. I don't know. I just nod and say, doesn't that look great? So there you go.
Rob, I'm just putting that into my worst treetop I've ever had.
I will send you a picture, don't you worry.
Please do.
More from Faye in a couple of moments' time. We're going to be talking best and worst Christmas presents next after Toto. Radio Manchester, Faye Butterworth with me, who's not going to come round to our house now for Christmas dinner and stare at the Queen and Prince Philip on the top of our Christmas tree.
No, I think I'm going to come round and change it for you.
Okay, well, literally no comeback from me whatsoever if you do. Right, let's talk. I love this because you've done a bit of research. Best and worst Christmas gifts, okay? I love, first of all, the best Christmas gift. Now, bear in mind, this year I adopted a seahorse at Chester Zoo. So you can see,
amazing.
You can see my mentality, so you can appreciate why I would love this.
Well, my son is a massive fan of this animal, and it just came up by chance. I saw it, and I've actually ordered him this for Christmas as a surprise because he's crazy about them, and that's his nickname, believe it or not. I've even got light-up letters with this animal's name on it. But I found this, and it's Adopt a Sloth.
I love
which
it.
I thought was just fabulous because I just think they're an amazing creature myself, and it's about protecting the endangered sloths in South America. So that was just one of the best presents ever. I just thought, because you get all the ones, the standard ones, name a star and all of the boring bits. And I thought this was just so different. I thought it was fantastic. So adopt a sloth, everybody, go for it. And it goes to a very good cause as well. Yeah. Kids will love it.
If you go to the Sloth Conservation Foundation, you'll find all the details there.
Yes.
And I love this, to be quite honest, your worst Christmas gift.
Well, it made me chuckle because I thought that was actually quite funny. But I just thought people are probably so fed up with the situation this year in COVID. For somebody to bring this out, I was just thinking, hopefully it was just a joke. But it's a Christmas decoration with a couple of faces with Santa hats on, with masks over, with 2020, a toilet roll and hand sanitizer.
Genius.
So I just thought, genius, great idea. Hopefully it's just meant as a joke, but I would not want somebody buying that for me because I don't want to remember what's going on this year.
Exactly, yeah. Chris has been in touch. Do you have any good suggestions for table decorations for this year? We have got 10 coming round, all within the 3-bubble rule, and I would just like to do something special on the table.
Oh, a lot of people are talking about this year as well. Depending on your room, decorations, whatever, theme your table, have some nice natural stuff, go out in the garden, pick some cones, things like that. You can use little cones even as name placements. So depending whether you... Yeah, and it's just easy and it's just a little bit different. So make it personal, because I think when you do have dinner parties and people come round, a bit more of that personalised feel is really lovely. The other thing I got, which was really special this year, was gin Christmas crackers.
Ooh, these sound good.
Oh, yes. They're a lovely Christmas cracker. You got a bottle of gin, and a small one, and the tonic to go with it. And they're all different ones. So those were lovely. They're going on my Christmas dining table this year. So that's a great idea. Candles are obvious, but you can always get your fake candles now, but do something a bit different. Have sort of some floating candles with some holly underneath the water, or, just get a little bit sort of creative look around outside. You're going to have stuff left over, old baubles in a bowl, then have sort of a candle above that, things like that. So there's loads of things you can do, and it's just sort of, make it... The personal touches, I think, is always the nice, because you can even put a little bit of holly on your napkin, and sort of dress it with a bit of a ribbon. Things like that. Some things are very easy to do and don't actually cost you anything.
Yeah.
So just have a look around, and I bet people have got a bit of tinsel left over or something, and lay that down the table with some little lights and, some baubles mixed up and things like that. So you can do loads.
You see, it's where your choice of whether you plate up or you have sort of like bowls of food on the table comes into play, doesn't it? Because if you've got candles and things on the table and everybody's got to try and reach over and get the last roast potato, that's when it can become a bit precarious.
It can do, but I do have bowls on mine. We carve the turkey, but then I'll have bowl for each of the vegetables and things like that. But I always, you're going to laugh now. Calculate my table out. So I work it out so I have decorations in between where the bowls sit.
Okay.
So you can kind of maneuver and work round. So that always works. But you're right, because otherwise you end up, people sometimes don't think about that. And you've got your table laid, then all of a sudden you're shoving everything out the way to get something in. So I try and work it out the day before I always set my table and then work out what's going where. So it's easy to get to.
Okay, quick one from Diane. Says just moved into a new house. In the front room, there is a really go on a minute. There is a really nasty gas fire. That's what it says. Nasty gas fire. Any ideas as how to cover it up? Obviously, not cover it up so that it's a danger, but just have something in front of it. What suggestions would you have?
Well, if she's not going to use the fire, obviously being that time of year and she's not going to use it, that's fine. You could just get something, if she wanted to be a little bit creative, you can get a piece of MDF, cut a shape, and then actually decorate the front of it.
Oh, okay.
So that's just off the top of my head very quickly there. You could do that. She might have something, you could go to the garden centre and just pick up some of the sticks, and just put those round. That's the simplest way. Even sort of dress the front of it with some boxes, wrap some old box up as Christmas presents and put some lights round and stack them. So that will cover it up as well. So you could do that. And so, you can buy these sort of Christmas boxes that are all lit up already. If you wrapped your own with some ribbons and do different stacking boxes as if it's presents coming down the chimney.
Oh, that's a nice idea. Yeah, I know what you mean, because sometimes you can move into a house and you think, right, we're not going to get round to actually replacing that or removing it or whatever sometime, but you just don't want it staring at you, do you, throughout the Christmas period?
Just cover it over. Just think of something, and a bit of wrapping paper and some boxes is quite easy, and it's a good coverage as well, because obviously got quite a big hole there to fill. So anything like that, just to make it a display more than anything. If she's got a mantelpiece over the top there, pop a garland on the top with things draping down with presents underneath that have got nothing in them, but at least it gives it sort of a nice Christmas feel, and it hides what she doesn't want to look at.
Nice. Right, thank you for that. You've been busy though, haven't you? You've got a new website out?
Yes, our new website will be launched next week, which is fantastic. We've been very excited about this. It's been about 18 months in the making. So it'll be an e-commerce website. So we'll be selling all wallpapers and fabrics. A lot of the designer brands that you can't buy on the high street will all be available from us. We'll also be doing a lot of the blog section on our journal, where we'll talk and give people tips and trips of the idea of sort of the trade, what's going on, and lots of stuff are on there. Your good self is already on there, Phil, actually, with our oh yes, you are, with our podcast. You'll be on there.
Okay, excellent.
Yes, a lovely picture of me and you together as well on there.
I thought for a minute you'd got a picture of the Queen and Prince Philip as a brooch, which you could put at the top of the Christmas tree. That's a shame. They would be top sellers for you.
Definitely not. Now, I've actually got something for you. I've got a weird and wonderful fact for you.
Go on.
Okay, I'm going to give you this one. Your turkey, your Christmas dinner turkey. Do you think you could ever catch a turkey if you didn't buy it from the shops?
Well, I've seen I'm a Celebrity when they're trying to catch ostriches, so I would say it's probably impossible.
Do you know how fast a turkey can actually run?
Go on.
Up to 25 miles an hour.
Gosh, can they really? Which
yes,
is amazing.
They can.
There are so many that have been stuffed and plucked and are on the supermarket shelves.
Exactly. So, enjoy your turkey this year, because you'd never catch one.
Faye, what a pleasure. Thank you for joining us. Faye Butterworth from Butterworth Interiors in Altrincham with us this afternoon.